The castle itself was grand. The gold banners and highlights glimmered in the Erd tree's light, the grey bricks a monotone backdrop. The towers and battlements had been eroded by countless challengers. Their debris was littered across the ground. Looking up upon it was daunting, as the castle towered above me. Though defeating Margit the Foul had inspired newfound courage, I was greeted by a closed portcullis, though to the side I found my solution.
You there? Come over here, would you? You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. Oh, try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected. Yes, that's the spirit. You're just the kind of tarnished that I like. I pray for your success.
The advice he offered was sound. Indeed, the main gate proved to be heavily guarded. Multiple soldiers of Godrick awaited any foolish enough to simply run in. The side was far easier to penetrate until I was caught in this little trap. The laugh to my ears sounded familiar. Despite him helping us, I now doubted our new friend. Panic is the simplest and most accurate way to describe what I felt in the moment.
Oh, hello. Glad to see you're safe. I've come into some fine goods. Only it turns out I can't use one of them. Perhaps you'd like to take them off my hands.
Going back and speaking with him gave me no indication that he was the one to close the gate behind us, though now I was more wary as I proceeded throughout the castle. One thing that I had noticed was the holes in the walls that were surrounded by thorns. Each hole was a vortex of thorny vines. Also, some of the soldiers in this area had a very similar plants that grew around their bodies underneath their armor. I wondered what caused this anomaly, though so far I had not the faintest of idea. I made my way up one of the many towers of the castle, defeating countless foes as I went. Though I succeeded, it was getting progressively harder. Thus, I decided to adorn weapons and armor. Past the door, I encountered these pesky birds. So far in the game, I would like to bestow upon them the title of the most annoying enemy to deal with, even more than so the dogs. I'm sure those of you with ranged weaponry found them to be easier, but I, with my short sword, simply grew more and more frustrated against them. This castle holds many secrets, items and lore hidden away in the nooks and crannies of its besieged palace. Dropping down into space is thought to be inaccessible, to be otherwise, and so on. I urge everyone to look around and explore, though I also understand that most are way beyond this point. Now, if you recognize the name Roger, you have been paying attention. He's the mage that helped us defeat Margit, and he can also be found in the castle. He shares a bit more with us about this world, what other Tarnish are experiencing.
Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormveil Castle? This place is bristling with Tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind. I see. Here to challenge Godrick and lay your hands upon a great rune, are you? You can see it then, I take it. The guidance of grace. Well, enjoy it while you can. I'm tarnished, like you. But unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor hair of this guidance for the longest time. Still, I won't forget how it felt when I first came here, to the lands between. I'm privy to a few magical battle arts. Would you care to learn one? As a fellow tarnished, once guided by grace, I'd love to help you out, if it please.
Countless arms and legs hung from hooks. Below you see the results of grafting. Abomination, a mess of entangled arms and legs of victims. Appendages glued to a mass of flesh which wielded their own weapons. It was a jarring sight, and one that invoked fear. Like a spider, the cursed thing crawled back and forth in the hall. And just outside lay the donors. Bodies piled upon each other were thrown away to rot. Feed the dogs. Though they were not only tarnished that were ridden of their attachments, a giant as well missed an arm and a leg. In the pit, we find a memento. One, meant for the woman in the red hood.
A pleasure to see you. Did you give the little chrysalids the message? That I love them, and that despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. What's this? A keepsake? From my men? Oh, goodness me. I can't... They all believed in me. They all thought I'd make something of myself for me. You can't do anything. I think I'll head to the round table hold. Perhaps I'll find my purpose there.
Those with keen eyes may recognize this creature. It's the same one that appears in the tutorial area of the game. I'm sure it has claimed many tarnished lives. The courtyard was full of enemies. They were scattered across the place, set up with makeshift walls and armaments, though the main bulk of them I had circumnavigated. The horde seemed endless, but with the help of the wolves I made quick work. If one were to follow the path of the main gate, they would encounter the Lion Guardian, who is found in many paintings, as well as the Eastern Brick, though that we will go to after. Without any crimson tears remaining, I decided to run for the next site of grace.
Be proud. You were a fine warrior. Your only mistake was your choice of master. Let the winds lift you to a higher place. Well, who do we have here? Tarnished, are you? Clearly not one of Godrick's lot. I am Nepheli Lu. Tarnished and warrior, like you. I'm here by decree of my father. How utterly repellent this is. This grafting of Godrick's ill befits a lord. He's tainted the very winds. If you intend to challenge Godrick, I ask you call upon me. The winds run foul with his deeds. I'm certain father would permit me aid the fight. Apologies, but I've idled long enough. As fellow Tarnished, we must each follow our own guidance, down whatever road takes us to the throne of Elden Lord.
Nepheli Lu gives interesting insight. She's not from here and is tarnished like me, though she has a father and he has sent her to come put Godrick's grafting to a stop. His grafting is so foul that it taints the very wind, she said. But what would drive Godrick to undergo such horrendous acts? We can learn a little bit more about this by exploring the Limgrave area. Just southeast of the encampment we encountered in the first episode sits a monument, though not to celebrate victory or any achievements, but to humiliate. It reads, Godrick the Golden, humiliated, having tasted defeat by the blade of Makila, now on his knees begging for mercy. This is set at the foot of Godrick's castle, forever entailing his defeat to any curious enough to read. Another NPC that offers us some good insight goes by the name of Kenneth Height. You will not see him, but you will definitely hear him as you get closer, as he's located atop of a large piece of rubble.
Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the True Order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, country, grant me succor!
Now, Kenneth has his own little quest that takes you south of the Mistwoods. But it was these few lines that shone some light onto our grafted Spider King Godrick.
Honestly, Godrick's nothing more than a jumped-up country bumpkin. Lord? Oh, don't make me laugh. First, he hid himself amongst the womenfolk to flee the capital, then hid from Radahn in that castle. Then he insulted Melania, lost to her in battle, only to lick her boots rather than die like a man. Has he no shame? The big girl's blouse? And to think, he's the blood of Godfrey, last of the golden lineage. You almost wouldn't know it to look at him. Yeah, I almost feel sorry for the chap the more I think of it.
He dumps quite a bit of information onto us, though to summarize, Godrick fled the capital, which we do not know the name of. Then he hid from Radahn, who we know to be a king in the east, then was defeated by Melina. That name is not the same one as that was on the monument. Countless failures and defeats have lined Godrick's life, and now we learn he is the blood of Godfrey, who I assume to be the proprietor of the golden lineage. The high standards seem to have been placed on Godrick's shoulders, and so far he had produced nothing but failures. Though it simply does not justify the grafting of hundreds of thousands, but tarnished. Having learned a little more about Godrick, I was prepared to face him, though I would not be alone, as Nefellu would be at my side.
Mighty dragon, thou'rt a true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. A lowly tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden. heart of dragons. Lend me thy strength. Forefathers, one and all! Bear witness! I am the Lord of all that is golden. And one day we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold. What a pathetic excuse for a lord you were. Craven to the bone. Pushing me about like that, and after all that grafting, where did that get you? Look down on me, would ya? Godrick, you filthy slug. Feel it, feel it, feel my bloody wrath. Oh, hello there. This weasel was... Godrick was always looking down on me. He got what he bloody deserved thanks to you. I tell you though, what goes around comes around. He had an ugly heart, an uglier countenance, and met the ugliest of ends, eh? Now, I suppose I'm free. I can do whatever takes my fancy. Can I, mate?
Seems as though Kenneth was not the only one who thought ill of Godrick. Our little friend from the castle gates comes to literally stomp his hatred away. Now with Godrick gone, we move forward, though he was merely the beginning.